My persuasive speech is on breast milk versus formula, what is best for your baby. I was not able to have an audience today because I don't have enough people that I know here. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and the only people I have are at work, and I didn't work this week. So I know that I'm going to get either no credit or reduced credit for this project. But I feel so strongly about the topic that I still wanted to give my speech. In the past year, since my daughter was born, I have donated 71 gallons of breast milk to the Northwest Mother's Milk Bank. What they do is they take the breast milk and they pasteurize it and they give it to the NICUs across the Pacific Northwest. I, along with a lot of other mothers, chose breast milk by all the research I had done. Obviously, the emotional bond you feel with it of giving your child life and then being able to sustain it, that is beyond compare. But there are many other health benefits, such as dental and the digestive health benefits, that make it really an easy choice. Dr. Brian Palmer, DDS, he did an article for the newsletter of Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine in 2000. He did this article based on other dentists and doctors that did research on the dental side of breast milk versus formula. He put this all together in a thesis. One of the dentists he had spoke of is Dr. Erickson, who his research showed that some infant formula dissolves tooth enamel and causes dental caries. Another person mentioned in the article is a Dr. Oldis. He did his thesis on pretty much the same thing, and he stated that breastfeeding a child for more than 40 days may inhibit the development of nursing caries in children. It was found that several components of human milk may also protect against the development of caries. Dr. Palmer concludes his article with, breastfeeding is critical to the total health and well-being of all mammals. He even states that breastfeeding is the best and cheapest form of health insurance. An article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science of the United States of America, they came up with the same conclusion to their research on the same topic. So, dentally, not only does formula break down your tooth enamel and cause cavities, but breastfeeding, it protects against it. Along with the dental benefits, breast milk is also more easily digested. If you've ever seen a difference in a diaper between a breastfed baby and a formula baby, that's very, very obvious. In an Oxford academic Pathogens of Disease article, they touched on the gut microbiota. They did a research on infants at 6 months old in 4 categories. They were breastfed, formula fed with a prebiotic, and then breastfed with mothers who had taken the prebiotic prior. This was given, they tested their feces for the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Their conclusion was that breast milk is the first choice, but if you cannot give breast milk, the prebiotic is necessary for better digestion, because their studies found that breast milk and then the formula with the prebiotic had the same amount of bad bacteria, and the formula fed baby had tons more bad bacteria in theirs. And then the 1982 Journal of Medical Microbiology, an article they had, they did a similar research finding the same result, only changing when food entered the infant's diet around 6 months old. And then with that, the breast milk helped break down the food better than the formula did. The Lancet article titled Breastfeeding and Lowering the Risk of Childhood Obesity also concluded that our results suggest that breastfeeding is associated with reduction in childhood obesity. So So not only does it break down the food better, but it also helps with the obesity risk in America. So then the Lancet, they did another article and they titled it Breast Milk and Neonatal Necrotizing Enterocoliosis. And the Journal of Human Lactation, they have an article titled A Fresh Look at the Risk of Artificial Infant Feeding. They touch on the advantages of breast milk over formula, specifically in infants who are premature or have health risks, such as infants in the NICU. The Lancet article states that in a prospective multi-center study on 926 preterm infants formally assigned to their early diet, necrotizing enterocoliosis developed in 51, that's 5.5%. Mortality was 26% in stringently confirmed cases. In exclusively formula-fed babies confirmed disease that 6 to 10 more times more common than those fed breast milk alone, and 3 times more common than in those who received formula plus breast milk. Pasteurized donor milk seemed to be as protective as raw maternal milk. That is why I chose to not only breastfeed my own child, but since I was blessed with an oversupply, donate it to the NICUs. The babies who receive that milk, it means the difference in not only their survival, but their thriving of life. Otherwise, while a fed baby is the healthiest baby, there is no argument that breast milk is the best form. I am blessed to be able to give to the NICUs and to my own child. But if I couldn't, I would go to donor milk myself if I could find it. I've also not only given to the Northwest Mother's Milk Bank, but I've also given breast milk to local mothers who are failing to reach the age goal they want to be able to feed their child. Not everyone is as lucky to be as productive. But the dental, the digestional, the psychological, there are many, many benefits to breast milk over the formula. And that's not just breastfeeding, but pumping and feeding breast milk as well. The formula causes cavities, it feeds into child obesity. At the end of the day, it's your choice what you feed your child, and feeding your child is above all the best thing. But if you have a choice, breast milk is the best form. Thank you for listening to my speech, and have a great day.